Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to another League of Legends video. Today I'm gonna cover top lane Fiora and I'm gonna go over her item builds and her runes. So let's get started with the runes. Now Fiora has 3 pages that are currently good on her. The first one is press the attack page, and this page should be used against tanks. The thought process behind this page is basically press the attack is a lot better than lethal tempo and fleet footwork, and Triumph is still the best rune on this page because these two doesn't really help bruisers at all in my opinion. This one is good on Kassadin, I know, but overall presence of mind is quite weak, and then overheal is just a support rune, so Triumph is still good even after the 3% nerf in the last patch. As for this row, Alacrity gives you more split pushing power and all-in power. Bloodline can be better in fights if you have a lot of uptime, but overall I would say Alacrity is better, and Tenacity isn't that good of a stat on Fiora, so... And then for the last row, Coup de Grace is still the best choice, even though they nerfed it by 1%, but overall it's the best one by far. The secondary tree, we go into Domination, and we take Taste of Blood, and we take Ravenous Hunter. Now, you could change up Taste of Blood to Sudden Impact, which gives you a little bit more damage. You pretty much have a 100% uptime on the 10 lethality, but even though that lethality isn't that good on Fiora, so I would most of the time just go Taste of Blood instead. Okay, so as for the second page, it's a Kleptomancy page. In this one you run against Nasus, for example. Just in general, weak early game champions, Kleptomancy is best against. So, you take Kleptomancy, of course, it procs with your Q, it's quite good on Fiora overall, and you also get the flat 1680 level 1 for taking this tree, so it's really good. Then we go into Biscuit Delivery, because the other two are quite bad. You can sell the biscuits or use them, doesn't really matter, it's not that good. Then you go into Magical Footwear, which gives us free boots, which is always nice. Futures Market is okay, and this one is just trash, so stick to Magical Footwear most of the time. On the last row, then again, we can only choose Cosmic Insight pretty much. These two are both really bad on Fiora, so just go Cosmic Insight. She's good with CDR, so it's overall quite a good rune. Secondary tree, we go into Sorcery, and we take Transcendence and Gathering Storm. Now, the reason for these two is because it gives us the best scaling overall. Gathering Storm gives us more AD the later we go into the game, and Transcendence gives us more CDR once we reach level 10, and if we get more than 40% it gives us more AD instead, so it's quite good. The thought process behind this page is basically everything is just revolved around scaling and getting a lot of free gold, so take this against someone that can't really punish you early game. The third page is a Aerie page, and this is actually my personal favorite, even though it's not that popular at the moment. This page actually makes Fiora into a lane bully early game, and since she scales very well naturally, this page is actually really good on her. So you take Aerie for the poke damage, then you take a Mana Flow Band. Now you could take Nullifying Orb against Burst Mages or the Ultimate Hat if you want to scale a bit better, but overall Mana Flow Band is best with this kind of early game poke cheesy kind of build. Then on the second row here we go Celerity. We could go Transcendence for the extra scaling, but overall Celerity is like having movement speed quints, and it gives you some extra AD as well, so it's quite good. Last row, we take Scorch for the early game poke. We could go Gathering Storm here again for the scaling, but overall this page is revolved around having a good early game, so take Scorch here in my opinion. Secondary tree, we go into Precision, and we take Triumph, and we take Legend Alacrity. Now, you could change this up to Bloodline, as I said before, but overall I prefer Alacrity, and then Triumph is just a really good rune, so overall it's the best choice. Okay, so as for Fiora's items, she has a couple of options for the starting item. She can either go Doran's Blade or Doran's Shield, and then coupled with a pot, of course. Go Doran's Blade into every matchup that you can get away with it, basically. Doran's Shield against champions such as Teemo, which you can't really contest early game anyway, so you just want to make sure you survive before the first back, so Doran's Shield against those kind of poke champions. As for the core items, Ninja Tab is most of the time, it's pretty much the best bruiser boots, but if you're against a lot of AP, of course, you go into Mercs. As for the first item, you want to make sure you grab Tiamat, and then you go into Trinity Force, or you take Tiamat and Phage, and then you finish Ravenous Hydra, because otherwise it will be too squishy, because Ravenous Hydra doesn't give you any HP. After these two items, we can go into either Bloodthirster or Guardian Angel, or even Ma if they have a lot of AP. It really depends on the enemy comp. If you're doing well for yourself and you don't think you need extra tankiness, you go into Bloodthirster, but if you're against someone that deals 80 damage and you're a little bit behind, you can go Guardian's Angel, or the same thing about AP damage, you can go Moth Morpheus, but overall these should be your core item build. As for alternatives, as I said, Mercs, if you face a lot of AP, you go Black Cleaver if they have 2 or more tanks to help your AD carry deal more damage in fights. Randin's Omen is quite good if you have to be more of a frontline figure for your team, if you don't have a main tank and if they have a lot of AD damage. Mercurial, you have to go QSS against a lot of champions such as Malzar or something like that, and then Mercurial actually isn't that bad of an item. If you're against a full AP comp, you can skip Guardian Angel and go Mercurial instead, for example. And then Thornmaid basically against other hard healing champions such as Aatrox. You basically want to rush Bramble Vest against them still, even though it's quite nerfed, and then you can finish Thornmaid later on if you want to. But those are basically the items for Fiora, and this will be the end of my guide. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. But other than that, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.